Minister calling for a cabinet meeting at 8 p.m. today. Remember, we've seen 7 days of the winter session of Parliament go without any business being conducted in the House. The debate started this morning in the Rajya Sabha, but we saw familiar scenes of chaos with the opposition MPs rushing to the well of the House and the House being adjourned after that till tomorrow. So perhaps this is on top of the government's mind when it calls this cabinet meeting. Paulomi joining us on the phone line. Paulomi, what more do we know at this point?
Well, the Prime Minister has called an emergency cabinet meeting at 8 p.m. today. It is to happen within the Parliament premises. This is basically in order to notify and approve and sign off on the various extensions which will be offered. Remember, earlier we had reported that the Ministry of Finance will be coming out this evening with notifications which will allow for extensions on various exemptions that had already been granted, and the deadline for that was to end on the 24th of November, which is today. But they still decided, the Government of India, to go ahead and allow for some of those exemptions to continue for another brief period of time, anything between a week to 10 days, in order for people to get used to the system. And these exemptions were, for instance, in the purchase of fuel or in the purchase of medicines, etc., where you could use your old 500 and 1,000 rupee currency notes. And that is the kind of exemption which was being granted earlier. Now, of course, the Government of India would like to follow due procedure when it does so. And it has to go down the cabinet route before, of course, it is notified and, of course, it is announced. Remember, when demonetization was announced by the Prime Minister, it came through the cabinet route as well. He had an emergency cabinet meeting that evening, apprised his cabinet ministers about the same, and then gone on national television to announce the decision. So that same procedure is likely to be followed today as well, because there is some major tweaking which is happening vis-a-vis those extensions that will be granted, and maybe there's something else in the offing as well. We have to wait and see. But broadly, what we've been given to understand is this is the reason why this emergency cabinet meeting has been called.
All right. Paulomi, thanks very much for that update. 8 p.m. is when the cabinet meeting has been called. Meanwhile,